This was something which I wasn't going to talk about because it can be really hard to talk about, you know what I mean? It's really quite personal, and yeah, it's just a lot, But that being said, of course, I'm going to talk about it, so let's just jump right in, okay? Anxiety heart, that's what they call it. Anxiety heart is when basically your heart is doing strange things. You've got a tickle in your chest, your heart rate is just not resting, you're getting palpitations quite constantly. They're quite scary, to be honest. Yeah, anxiety heart is just something strange in itself, something I wish I really didn't know about or didn't ever experience. Sometimes I feel quite lucky that that this got to me at this time in my life and not sooner, because I know about people who've had things like panic attacks and similar to that. I'm fortunate enough to have never really had that. There was a time in my life when I was close to that, and I'm not going to say that that kind of thing hasn't been impossible, but I've been quite fortunate in a way. But never going to rule it out, never say never, you know. These kinds of things can happen. Of course, we pray and do as best we can to make sure they don't happen, but you've just got to be aware that these kinds of things can happen anyway. So one thing I actually learned recently is that like ongoing stress and anxiety can go away quickly. All right, anxiety heart can go away quickly, days and stuff like that. I should mention the worst of it, the debilitating part, the part that makes you feel really weak and that you can't face your trigger, you can't face your stressor, the part that can end up keeping you in bed, that part shouldn't last too long. When I say that, let's say a day, half a day, something like that. But if it's really bad, make sure you are seeking help. Do talk to people, lots of different people. It really will help. It's important. So that's the worst part of it, guys. The worst part shouldn't last too long, and it won't last too long. And then there's the overall part of it, guys. It also will go away. Remember that. Remember that it will pass. It will pass. That's coming from somebody who's going through it right now. All right? It will pass. Okay? And then, of course, what I learned recently is that it can stay for a long time. And that's more the weaker symptoms of it. My recommendation is generally take the action you're not taking. If something is stressing you out and you're not, deep breaths, if you're not doing something about it, do something about it. Talk about it first, okay? And then, you know, talk to people, seek advice, and do what you can about it. I know that there are a lot of issues in life where we can't do things about them. Now, when I learned that this can last for such a long time, it was interesting because it kind of calmed me. Strange to hear that, isn't it? That on finding that this can last a long time, it calmed me. Now, the reason why it calmed me was because I was feeling like somewhere, on some level, of course, there's a lot of feelings that are happening when this is occurring. On some level, I was feeling like this should be gone by now. I should be better by now. I should be back to normal by now. But I wasn't. And finding out that this can last a long time made me think, well, it's part of you. It's new, but yeah, it's part of you. Okay? It's going to be around for a while. Get used to it. Get used to it. You've still got things to do. It's still going to be there with you. You are safe. You're okay. Everything's fine, really. This is another symptom. Every so often now, I take a deep breath. And I know that this whole thing, it throws off your heart rate, it throws off your breathing. It's the fight or flight, isn't it? It's a degree of adrenaline that's being released. Apparently it can become something like a panic disorder. That's kind of scary. But yeah, knowing that this could be with me for a long time took away that whole feeling, that impatience that this should be gone by now. That went. Although it comes back every once in a while, not gonna lie. But when that went, or when it goes, and I remember that, look, this can be a while, just be with it. It helped. Something about learning that helped. Okay? Stay on your feet. Keep doing what you're doing. Get out in nature. Get exercising. Get that social interaction. If you need to find social groups in your area, maybe it's a book club, maybe it's a film club, maybe it's a Lego club or something, yeah, find it, seek it out and join it. Force yourself to do some socializing. It'll be good for you. Get out there, make new experiences, make new connections, new memories, and strangely enough, it'll give you other things to think about, worry about. Maybe there'll be healthier worries than that which is currently taking over you, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't wish it on anybody. Anxiety, heart, anxiety, stress. It is a tough one. It is dangerous. If you know somebody who's going through it, speak to them. Be nice to them. Yeah. Get them out if you can. You know, just help them with a new or different experience, something which you know helps them or relaxes them. Get them exposed to that. I mean, there's worlds that I can discuss about this, but I just wanted to bring it to light, bring it to the forefront. And for anybody who is struggling with stress and anxiety right now, just remember, it will pass. You yourself in this time, you know, be productive, do what you can to get yourself out of that situation. Do seek help, do talk to people. Doctors and things can help. Look online, there are services. Generally, there are quite a lot of free services. Start talking. Don't let it get really bad. If you see yourself going into this direction, I recommend taking action early. Don't suffer in silence. Don't grit and bear it. Make a difference. Do something. Get yourself out of that situation if you can. Do things that are calming, and that includes work. Alright? Your health is more important than money. So think about that. Alright? You're not always in control of a lot of things in life, okay, and that includes money, income, these things you're not always in control of, okay. Just try to be in control of your health, take action, do things. I just wanted to share that message. Thank you all for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one, and see you later.